Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I don't know why I said it like that. Anyway, it's October 9th and I have my trays out right now because I'm about to eat. I went on some errands today. I have to go to a different public library now because my normal one on Manor Street shut down at the end of September. And so now the only location that's close to me in walking distance is in the CBD and it's on Brandon Street. So I walked there. I returned 2 library books that I finished. The books I returned were pretty good. Not amazing, but not the worst. The first one I read was from Colleen Hoover. Everyone knows this one. It Ends With Us. And I feel like I learned a different perspective on domestic violence that I never really had before. So I do recommend it. And then I actually watched the movie afterwards. And in terms of comparing what I read in the book and how the movie was produced, they're very similar. So I recommend both. The second book was called Sleepless. It was a sci-fi dystopian kind of futuristic novel about a pandemic where it leads to hyperinsomnia, meaning we never sleep. It was kind of like a crime-solving book. It wasn't the best. It wasn't the worst. So, I mean, it was what it was. I read it in 2 days. Not that I was like riveted by it and I couldn't put it down. I just wanted to finish it for today so that when I went to the library, I could return it. So anyways, I'm rambling. I feel like I went to the library and I picked up my books because for some reason, I always have reserves and I'm put on wait lists for these reserved books that are really popular. I was on a couple wait lists and then they all kind of came up at once. So I had to go pick up 3 books today that I was on the reserve wait list for, which is good. It's a good thing to have. But that means now I have a surplus of books and some of them are really long. So let me just show you my book and then we'll get into the eating portion, which is why I have my trays out, which by the way, it is week 17. I can't believe it. Only 4 weeks left until the end of my treatment plan. It's going so well. But first of all, we'll go over the books. So I got recommended to read Kristen Hanna. Apparently she's a really good author. It's called Night Road. This book is 385 pages, so I could probably finish this in 2 days if I really wanted to, 3 days just at a leisurely pace, because the more that I read, the faster I can read. So I get through these shorter books really quickly. So that one came in and there was a little bit of a wait list on that one, but not too long because this is a pretty old book. This one is another Colleen Hoover book. This is a young adult book though, and it's about 2 twins. I read an excerpt of it in the This Ends With Us book because I got hooked in, and I thought that I'd be waiting for my other books to come in for a while, so this was going to be a filler book. But then my book that I really wanted in a series I'm reading came in, and so now I have them all at once. So I'll probably read this one first because I believe I could get through this really fast. Yeah, it's a young adult, so the font is really big, and this one is only 359 pages with such a big font. I could finish this in a day and a half, 2 days, easy. So I'll probably start that one today. But this behemoth right here that I'm about to show you, this one is like 1,000-pager. This one is the one that takes me about a week if I'm continuously reading. And the second book in this series, I was really into it and it left on a cliffhanger. So I feel like I'm gonna read this one pretty fast, but I'm gonna wait to read it because look at that. That's insane. This is Sarah J. Maas. She has a cult following. She is a fantasy young adult, also fiction for adult writer. She's got some best-selling series like A Court of Roses and Thorns, Throne of Glass series, which had like 8 novels in it. I finished the entire Throne of Glass series. It took me about 3 months to read all of her books, and I got them all from the public library. So that meant I was on wait lists for all of them because it's a very popular series, so popular. If you don't know Sarah J. Maas, look it up. She's got some pretty cool books. In between the A Court of Roses and Thorns series and the Throne of Glass series, which are both fantasy realm, they do have kind of a common thread because it's made by the same author. She's kind of woven them all together. So there's actually a crossover between A Court of Roses and Thorns timeline and Crescent City books. So this book is actually where the crossover happens, and that's why I was really interested to read the third. This is the third of 3 books so far in the series. This one is not young adult, so it is a little bit more spicy. I can say that because the young adult books are a little bit more toned down, but the adult, this is just regular sci-fi fantasy. It's a bit spicy, not gonna lie. Some scenes in here are spicy. Anyways, I'm really excited to dig into this one. Let's check the page count. I do recommend Crescent City. I think it's a good series. All right, it's not 1,000 pages. It's actually 835, but it's still gonna take me a good crack to read that. So those are the books that I've recently picked up, and I definitely recommend, if you take anything away from this segment, Sarah J. Maas, check out her books if you like fantasy books, because it is a lot of world building going on. It has fairies and magic and kingdoms and war and love and romance. So it's everything you can imagine, but you have to like buy into the world that she's building. But I decided to be a tourist in my own city, and I wanted to get a pie. I did some research and I found a new pie place to me. Well, it's new to me, it's not new to the city. It's called Salou Pies, and on my way there I felt a little bit like a tourist because I actually got lost. I was walking down a back alley because it's kind of in a weird place just off of Manor Street and Dixon Street. So I was walking around, I ended up in an agency's hallway. The staff were coming in from their lunch break and they were like, "Oh, can we help you?" And I said, "Do you guys know where Salou Pies is?" And they were like, "Oh yeah, it's just down there around the corner. Really good choice." And I was like, "Thank you." And so I went to the pie place and I picked up one of their pies. And New Zealand is really known for these pies. Like, if you haven't been to a pie place, a pie shop, cafe, whatever, to try a pie in New Zealand, you're highly missing out. This is part of the culture. Now, Salou Pies, though, is fancy. They're a little bit more like a gourmet pie, and that is reflected in the cost. This pie was $10. It hurt a little bit, but look at this. It actually looks like a work of art, like literally. Personally, I've never purchased a pie in New Zealand that was this fancy looking, because pies in New Zealand are meant to be fast food. You grab it at a petrol station or something and you eat it on the go. But then of course you have the other side of that spectrum, which is gourmet $10 pies. But even I have to say, $10, that's a little steep. But I'm gonna do the first bite on camera and then I will finish it off camera, but I'll do some close-ups of what it looks like. This flavor is beef brisket with cheese and jalapeno bacon sauce. I hope it's gravy filled because I love a good gravy filled pie. It looks like it's got a lot of like little special designs on the top there, so I'll have to bite through that in order to get to the filling, but let's have a go of it now. Pies are so flaky and like they're kind of messy to eat, so I'm gonna try eat over. Let's eat over the sink here, all the crumbs fall down. I got mostly crust in that one, but I got a little bit of the beef. The crust is good. I kind of want more sauce though. It's a little bit dry. Oh my god. That is like a beefy pie. The beef is really good. My critique though is it's quite dry. There's no gravy so far. I'm trying to get to the gravy. Maybe I'll pull the pie apart a little bit, see if there's gravy inside. No, there isn't. There's not really any gravy. It's a little bit saucy, but not really. So not my favorite because personally I'm a sauce girl, and if my pie doesn't have gravy in it, I just find it a little dry. You know what I mean? Anyway, I ripped it apart. Let's try this like meaty bit here. It's very protein heavy though. If you just want like an intake of beef, this is definitely good for you. Whoa. That bite was so much better. It's a bit saucier in the middle. Okay. No, actually, this is really good. That's so good. The flavors are just, you can tell the quality of the pie ingredients is really high quality. It tastes really good. I take back what I said earlier. This is good. There's so much beef in here. Like, I actually can't keep up with the beef. It's so beefy. This is really filling. Okay. That's the pie dance. All right, I'm gonna finish the rest off camera, but if I had to give that a rating, just based off of the quality of the ingredients, but also factoring the price, it's $10. I'd give that one an 8 out of 10. If this pie had gravy in it, game changer. That would be a 10 out of 10, easy. Still amazing quality pie though. I do recommend trying out Salou Pies. They have so many other flavors you can try too. They had one called roasted chicken dinner that sounded pretty good too. Now lastly, I wanted to talk about my little treat here. Because it is tray change day for my Invisalign, my teeth can get tender. This is a slushie and I've got pearls in here. This is a mocha slushie, 25% sweetness with pearls. So this will help soothe my gums a little bit. Tapioca pearls. I don't often have bubble tea anymore, so this is a treat. The only thing I find difficult eating with my button attachments and Invisalign is I eat so much slower than I normally would. I feel like I have to chew everything a little bit with more attention. And when I don't have Invisalign buttons, I just tend to scarf things down. So thanks for bearing with me with that taste test. Like I said, it just felt really nice to be out in my city and being like a tourist, and the Brandon Street Public Library is quite far from where I live, so it is quite a little walk to get there. But it was beautiful today. It was so busy in the streets of Wellington. I was able to walk along the harbor front because it's a sunny day. There are so many families with children, so many corporate people out for a lunchtime walk. I feel really good. I feel like I was just out and about today, and I'm actually gonna finish my lunch and I'm heading to the gym, which will be back and bicep strength training day today. So that's what my days pretty much are filled with: reading, working out at the gym once a day, being super dedicated to wearing my Invisalign trays, and video editing too. So thanks for watching this update, and I will talk to you guys in another video. Bye! Hi everybody! I'm coming at you with another update. It's October 14th today, week 18 of Invisalign. I'm not going to talk too much about Invisalign in this update because I feel like my channel has just become a series of Invisalign updates, and all I can really say is that it's going well still. I love the progress I'm seeing. My next appointment to check in with my orthodontist on next steps is in 3 weeks time. October is flying by. I just wanted to do an update because the last time I vlogged I talked about some books I got from the library. Well, let me tell you, they were some good books that I picked up. So what I've been doing, instead of going into the library and reading random books, jackets, and figuring out if I want to take them out or not, because that produces a lot of misses, not so many hits. So I'm not finding that that method is good at finding like really good books. So I started doing research, you know, online with Goodreads, Book Talk, and then I look online on my library catalog, and then I put a reserve on them so that if there's a wait list, I get onto the wait list to get the book, and then I go pick it up. So this one I want to talk about first, Without Merit by Colleen Hoover. So I started reading it a little bit and I was like already hooked instantly, pulled right into the storyline. Very easy to get into this book. And then I sat it down, cooked some supper, and then after supper I was pulled right back into it, and I finished the book in one setting. I got it that afternoon and I finished it by the evening. It was just one of those books where I couldn't put it down. I was so interested in what was going to happen next. The storyline is about a teenager. It handles some heavy issues like mental health, depression, coming of age, finding your voice, learning how to stand up for yourself. It's just really heartwarming storyline and character building, and even though it's a young adult book, I really recommend this, and it was so easy to read. The font is quite large in this version, so I got through it really fast. And then I jumped right into the next one. This is an older book from about 2010, I want to say, but the story is set in the early 2000s, so it actually aged well, and this is an incredible book. Now, I am just starting out with this author, Kristen Hanna. I can see why she's got so many recommended reads. She's got that famous Firefly book that was made into a Netflix series that's so popular, and there's a reason for it. It's very heart-wrenching, at times just gutting issues, but so important. Beautiful character development. I didn't know what this book was about going into reading it, Night Road, and it turned out to involve a lot of heavy-hitting, tragic loss, grief, forgiveness, standing up for what you think is right, breaking intergenerational trauma cycles. It's just, oh my gosh. I went in blind and I came out like reeling. I was like, oh my gosh, this was so good. It has some really hard to read moments though, so if you are triggered easily by tragic loss, that's definitely something that's highlighted in this book. But if you're a mother, it will pull on your heartstrings. I'm not a mother, but it still really appealed to me, and stepping up to your responsibilities and breaking traumas and being the difference in somebody's life, and just absolutely brilliant writing and storytelling. The story is set in the Pacific Northwest in the US, which is a beautiful part of the world. So absolutely fantastic reads. I read this one, I think, in about 3 days because I just took my time with it because I finished the first one so fast. I was like, wait, I actually like these books. Let me just savor them a little bit rather than gobbling them down as fast as possible. So that's the update with those books. I'm actually going to make myself some pancakes today. I remember I did a vlog where I made some pancakes and they actually had a little bit of a weird density to them because the recipe I followed called for melted butter in the liquid batter. I had another recipe that didn't ask for melted butter and they were a lot fluffier. So I'm going to follow that recipe again today, and I'm just going to whip up a bunch of pancakes pancakes. It's Monday today, by the way, and I'm just feeling really good. I have a couple things I need to take care of this week, but mostly I'm just trying to enjoy the moment, be present, as I've banged on about a couple times throughout the last few updates. I'll pop back on and show you my pancakes once I've made them. I don't have any bacon this time, so it's just going to be pancakes and a side of eggs, and hopefully they go well. Stay tuned. Gosh, is there anything better than that sound? Eggs are frying. I made 6 pancakes, I believe. The last one was the biggest one on the bottom, but look at how good that one was. The coloring on the last couple ones I made were really good. But yes, bon appetit. Can't wait. Let me just plate it up because I have some of the pancakes gonna go into the container for another day, and then I'm gonna finish cooking these eggs. Over easy, you know how it is. Okay, bon appetit. I got a side of grapes, and this is a stack of 3 with 2 eggs. One of my eggs got away on me a little bit, overcooked there, but still runny on the inside. That's what we like to see, over easy. Love that. And then I will do the pour. Just ignore the fact that this is not original maple syrup, because as a Canadian, I feel like my citizenship will get revoked, but we do what we can. You know, maple syrup is kind of spenny and I don't really use it that often, so we're doing this one for now till I use up what I got left. There we go, people. Bon appetit. Thanks for watching. I didn't actually think that I would make it all on camera for this segment of the vlog, but I ended up doing it, and I hope you enjoyed. I sure as heck am gonna enjoy this meal. It looks so good. I'm salivating. After this hearty meal, I'll digest, and then I'm gonna go do leg day at the gym. That's on the cards for today. It's so terribly cold and raining right now. It is not spring-like at all. Cold, windy, rain. It's been raining nonstop since last night. I don't know what's going on, but this is definitely a bright spot of my day and introducing a moment of joy when the weather definitely is not. So thanks for cooking with me today, and I will see you in the next update. Bye!